All right, got a lot of work to do. Let's get with it. Silicone's a great alternative for those grommets. Alright, so unfortunately it's been really hard for me to try and film all this stuff. So I'm just going to kind of update you guys as to where I'm at on this. So I've got the cable in. I got the tube welded. I welded it there, welded it there, welded it there, even though it's probably not. I did overkill. It's better that it's on there too good than not good enough. I've got pretty much the brakes all together, other than I'm looking for my, I have to stop and look for stuff. That's part of the problem. It's all me now, so I'm doing this whole thing by myself. So the brake master's on. Let's take a look down here. Brake master's on. I reset the push rod to the right length. Got the master on there. I just need the brake switch, and I have a whole bunch of them. I just don't know where they are. So yeah, got that going on. I've got the tube set in place here for the throttle. I just need to finish that out and weld it. But I thought real quick, got the pedals in. I just need to finish up real quick with the put in the steering column. I'll show you a couple things on that real quick too. This one's leaking on the seal a little bit, but sometimes it's just because they're a little bit loose. And what I'm going to do on that is, typically what I do is I'll just take and drain out the fluid that's in there, and I'll put Lucas in there. And the Lucas is a little bit thicker and lighter weight than the other oil. And typically, hopefully, it'll slow down the leak so much that it won't barely even leak or not leak at all. And I'll get that sucker back in. So you may see that in the video, I'm not sure. But real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys about parts deals and then where to get them. Maybe you're trying to find stuff and this is not for just sponsors. This is just for plain old deals. Now, when I tell you guys about deals, I don't tell you about stuff because I get sponsorship from them. I just tell you straight up, if it's a deal, it's a deal, okay? And some of these people are not sponsors, some are, okay? But the sponsors, the reason that I tell you to go with them is because they have the best deal. So, some things I buy from a person who's not a sponsor, which is Auto House, Arizona. And why? Because it is the cheapest place to get it. This one right here is the drag link. These are, right now, I don't know if they will be when you look at the video. These are like 30 bucks from them. They're $58 at Willisburg West. Anywhere else are $58 to $60 or more. Auto House Arizona has free shipping if it's over $100. So their price on throttle cables is amazing. I mean, it's like, I don't even think it's $2. Okay, everybody else wants $4 or $5 for them. Throttle cables, clutch cable I get from them. Axle seal kits, amazingly cheap, like $3.50, German. They have the German seal for back here. Throttle bearings are a little higher there. I get the cheap one from CarCraft. CarCraft is another place for great deal for parts. But Auto House Arizona, I'm going to tell you the stuff I get there first, and we'll go to CarCraft in a second. Stuff I get there is the rear main seal, or the seal for the tranny. Like packets of hubcap clips. You cannot beat Auto House Arizona for that. Sometimes I'll grab the brake lines because they're about the same price to get up my stack up to my $100, so I get the free shipping. So I got the brake hoses from them. They're about the same price as everybody else. And the same, you know, the maybe Melee, which is kind of German, but not really. This is Melee. It's not always the best quality stuff, but for that drag link, it's fine. It's actually really good. Like for the rear, the brake little horseshoe clips and stuff like that, Auto House Arizona has those things so cheap. It's better just to buy a bunch of them from them. They have all the small things. You just go to their website and just start looking for stuff, and you'll go, oh my God, that's like half of what everybody else wants for all the little things. And so I'll order a box, a bunch of little stuff, and that's how I do it. Oh, one other thing. German boots from them, like $6 something. You can't beat that price. Nobody has them that cheap. So I get those, I get the brake hoses, some of those things from them, and they're about the same price. And I stack that up to about $100 and then have them ship it out. I don't have to go anywhere. It comes right to you. Real quick, you guys that don't know about CarCraft, CarCraft is in there. They're kind of a sponsor, but they've given me good pricing all the time, even before I was doing YouTube. So, you know, I give them credit for sponsorship because they've been, the reason I say that is because their pricing is pretty amazing. And the pricing that you get on their website, they don't usually give me anything less than that. So, because it is so cheap. So if you go to carcraftstore.com, it's very, very cheap for MP, for some of the German Chinese, you know, or whatever Chinese stuff even. You know, like I get throwout bearings from them. Some of their pricing you can't beat. In fact, anything MP, you cannot beat their price anywhere else. They're really, really cheap for that stuff. And again, they don't advertise anywhere else. They don't advertise on anywhere, even maybe on the Samba a little bit, but they don't advertise at all. Pretty much all my engine parts come from them. I don't get anything from anywhere else other than the AA. Sometimes I get stuff directly from AA because I have a sponsorship from them and they give me stuff at wholesale. So a few things that I get from the AA that I don't get from them, but most of my parts I get from CarCraft, the CarCraft store. And that, again, is because it is the cheapest, not because of, you know, as a sponsor. It's because downright, I'm just telling you guys, it is the lowest price and the same stuff that everybody else has. Crankshafts and stuff like that. You can't beat their prices on that stuff. And people go, oh, well, I'll go to CB because of this and that. And CB has, you know, some of their stuff is a little bit better, but most of it is exactly the same stuff. It's just they might, you know, CB does stuff like they'll take a crankshaft and they'll machine the end of it, and then they'll sell it for a little bit higher price, you know, because all their stuff fits better, but it's basically the same parts, just remachined. Now, if you're looking for cheap jack points, I'm not talking about quality. These are cheap. Okay, they're very thin metal compared to the original. These I get from, they're not a sponsor of the channel at all, but I get these from, where's that called? Bus Depot. These are like 10 bucks, okay? And if you're not going to ever jack your car up on there, but you just wanted to be there, that's kind of where I'm at on this thing. This thing's never going to ever get a jack point used, especially with a bucket truck. Come on. These look like they're Autocraft, actually, from the same place. And these were like 25 bucks, okay? So like 10 bucks for these. But they didn't have the other side, which I was really bummed out about because it's so cheap. They're like 40 at Willisburg West, 40 something, almost 50 bucks. The other place to get these, the cheaper red ones, is Sip One, and they're kind of in the middle. They're thicker metal, but they're not very straight. Again, I'll get my sheet metal from Eddie and Dave's garage. I get it. It's all Wolfsburg West stuff. So if you're looking for, you know, if you're Spanish speaking and you're from Brazil, Mexico, I know that Brazil, you guys speak Portuguese, but it's similar. So if you're Spanish speaking or Portuguese, you know what? Eddie and Dave's garage, he speaks fluent Spanish and he sells Wolfsburg West stuff. Wolfsburg West does not have anybody that speaks Spanish that works there. So if you're looking for the same pricing as Wolfsburg West, but you want somebody who speaks your language, call Eddie and Dave's garage. He's the guy for that. He is a sponsor of the channel, and he also, I get this stuff. I still pay for everything, guys. I don't get anything for free. Yeah, there's no freebies on this thing. But, you know, and there's no real discount. People think, oh, wow, you get 50% off or something. No, there's not that much markup in this stuff. You'd be surprised. Even at CarCraft store, there is such small amounts of markup. You'd be surprised how little money that they make per deal. They just do a lot of volume, and that's how they make their money. So a lot of these parts here are from Eddie and Dave's garage. They are Wolfsburg West parts. Most of them are. And some of them aren't. Like these things here are from Grumpy's Metal. Grumpy's Metal actually makes those in Texas now. So if you guys are in Texas area, you might want to check out Grumpy's Metal and see if you can go and pick some up directly from him, so he doesn't have to pay for shipping to come out here. Again, I just wanted to add that quick section about deals and how to get them. And you know, it's just to help you guys out. It's not to support my sponsors. It's basically deals. Okay, all the places I get stuff from are places I would buy stuff from, regardless of whether they were channel sponsors or not. I'm just telling you because they are the best price. And like I said, Eddie and Dave's garage. If you want anything Wolfsburg West, or you want, let's say you want to do this. Let's say you want to group and order together. You want some Wolfsburg West parts. You also want some MP parts, and you want to get some other things. And now you might say, you might look up on CarCraft store and see the prices and go, hey, those are pretty good. But you wanted to make a group order or a bunch of stuff. You can call Eddie Dave's, tell him the prices that CarCraft store has, and he'll probably give you the same price as they do, and then ship them all out together, so you're not paying for that double shipping. So just another thing to keep in mind. He sells MP. He sells all the stuff that all the other places sell, every brand. And AC Industries for disc brake kits. Again, I'm running drum brakes on this for now, but if I put disc brakes on it, on the early models, CarCraft store has the early ones, and also Eddie and Dave's has them. They're made through MP. But if you want the AC Industries with the vented rotors for the later model, so the early has the larger shaft here. The late model has a smaller shaft on these, and the smaller shaft ones they only have those available in AC Industries for the late model cars. The early ones, they only have those in MP. So if you want the MP ones, or those, you can get them from CarCraft store has them really cheap. Also, Eddie and Dave's garage like I said, you can do the same thing. You can call them and say, hey, you know, I can get them from a car craft store for this price. Can you do the same thing? Usually they will. So anyway, just a couple ways to get deals on your parts. Yeah, throw this in here since I'm not able to show you every little thing I'm doing, because it's just too hard for me to get the camera angle moved around, and it's just too many stops and cuts and trying to clip it all together. It just takes too much time. And so I'm just doing like little summaries along the way, and then we'll be getting back into the hyperlapse here on the next section. I'll show you. When I start cutting up this monster here, I've got to remove and repair all this probably next, as soon as I get some of the little loose ends tied up. Like as soon as I get the heater tubes done and the throttle cable stuff done to that, maybe the brake spled, then I need to move on to this and start cutting this up, and that'll be a little easier for me to film. I've got to I've got to cut off all the stuff I'm not going to use on it, and then I got to cut up all the stuff that I'm going to keep that I need to repair, and just start patching the hell out of it. So there's going to be a lot of patchwork done of that. So anyway, because this whole section here I'm going to reuse, all this here is going, so all that has to be cut away. This has to be cut away here. I have to like save this edge maybe. I think I can. It looks like it's in pretty good shape for the rubber to fit into. Okay, the sides, I think I have that still in pretty good shape. This little bracket I might need to save. I don't know, for the side gate or whatever, the side what is it called, treasure chest door. And then I need to cut these away. Say this all has to be cut away, that all has to be cut away, and then the new pieces put on, and then I can put this whole section on the truck and continue on. That way I have something to line up the corners with, and I can line up the front to rear pieces and then make sure everything fits. It's going to be a little tricky once I get to that point. So anyway, we'll be bringing you back in a little bit. Throttle cable starts right here. Tube starts right here, goes over the top of the beam, down, gets welded here, welded all the way along to the back on the frame in case you didn't have one on your bus, just so you know. so here's the deal. Remember I looked on the M code plate on this thing and it said it was a 62. It said it was an SO10 or SO9 on the thing, and I was telling you guys about this lift is dated, what does that say? You guys can read it. 5/11/62, and it's a V60. So what I was saying is the M code plates are not always correct. I'm sure that this is the correct lift for this truck. I'm sure they didn't just change it at some point. I'm sure this has been on this since day one, and the M code shows SO9. So like I said, they probably in the middle of the order had to change. Those M codes are not always correct. If this date's correct, I mean the chances of that they changed this lift and got exactly the same year lift and changed at some point, highly unlikely. All right, so I got this thing put on for now. Still gonna need to do some more work to it. Of course, I gotta finish that out. I just kind of wanted this off the floor, so thought I'd just put this on. So I got that, just welded it in real quick, put a little piece of plate right there. When I take off the nose, then I'll probably do some more work. You can see some holes. That's from the, it's not really that thin, but there's some hole, there's a hole right here. So once I get that off, I'll open that up more and finish that up. A little more to that, but at least that's on. Figured while I was working on it, I just went ahead and did this side. Patch. I got some metal here, I'll make that up. Kind of did some grinding over here, took off the rest of that edge. All right, so check that out. Got this thing on here, and I still need to put in my lines for the heater cables, but I just was playing around and I thought, oh, I'll make this. I made this little warped ass thing here. I'll straighten that out, shrink it down a little bit. But I noticed when I put this thing on, it slid back about 1/8 here. So you know how I'm going to handle it. I mean, you handle it however you want. You can cut it back off and reset it. Do it 3 times if you want. I'm just going to add a little bit right here, a little bit of metal if I need to. This covers it up. There's a piece that covers all this up. You won't even see it. But I could just add a little bit, and then if it sticks out a little bit in the back, just whack it off and put a new end on it. That's how you solve that problem if you don't want to cut it back off. It's just too hard for me to do on this lift, to set it and get it even by myself. You know, it just wanted to move. I had to use a C-clamp, and I had to slide it and just barely got it to stay in place while I welded it. And that's just what happens sometimes on that particular piece. And it's an inner panel that you don't see. So it's basically a weld edge to hold these pieces. I'm not going to weld this on the bottom piece until I put that on, because I want them to have the same curve to them. So I usually do that together. I think my deck lid's gonna fit. I don't know, you know. Those are things that I might have to cut back off and do again, but that's just the way it goes on something this big. When you got this much work to do, you might have to do that. So it probably won't. I think I got it pretty close that it should be able to shut. Well, actually, there isn't the deck lid doesn't go here. There's another filler piece. Remember, this is an SO10, so it has another filler piece here. Normally, this would be the gate would be right here, and I'd probably fix this later. But I need to get I don't know. I'm gonna put the dog legs on at some point, so I figured I want to get this on. I can't do the dog leg without this piece on, so I'm just playing around with that for a little while. Anyway, that's it for this video. We're gonna move on to the next thing. I got this piece on. You know, I've got a lot of little stuff I'm just handling right now. And then the next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm starting to move equipment over there, the other side of the shop. And I'm waiting for my wheels and my tires to come. I got to get my brake switch so I can finish the brakes. And then my wheels and tires so I can roll it over to the other side. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.